One thing is for sure, people just love myths and they spread them as facts. In this video, I, Dr. Udit will debunk such myths which are facts for you. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Udit, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll debunk such myths which are facts for you too. So without wasting much time, I'll begin with it. I'll explain you the myths and the facts. Myth number 1, knuckle cracking causes arthritis. Whereas the fact is, these joint noises are produced when the nitrogen bubbles escapes out from the synovial fluid. So these joint noises are produced, it has no correlation with the arthritis. Myth number 2, exercises causes backache. It's a vice versa thing. If you're not working out, you'll land up into backaches. If you're working out and you're doing your exercises properly, you'll never have backache. So that's the fact, and this thing is a myth. Myth number 3, you should walk barefoot. Whereas the fact is, if you are walking barefoot, you'll land up into injury of your foot. You might have your fungal infections. So these chances of infections are increasing. Plus, another thing is, if you're walking barefoot, your medial arch of the foot is not maintained. So it's a wrong thing which has been spread as a fact. Myth number 4 is running is bad for knees. Whereas the fact is, there is no evidence as such. You might develop into irritable band syndrome or patellofemoral pain syndrome. That too, even if you are running on hard surfaces or even if you are running on hills. Myth number 5 is, you need to sit straight to avoid backache. This is a myth. Whereas the fact is, in North America, the associations have proved it that 110 degrees to 135 degrees inclination is best if you are sitting. Next myth is, bed rest is always an answer. Whereas the fact is, you need to get out of your bed to improve. Chances of your recovery improves as you get out of your bed, and symptoms are worsened in your bed. So you need to gradually get out of your bed. Next myth is, calcium is sufficient to treat osteoporosis. Whereas the fact is, calcium is insufficient to treat osteoporosis. It has to be started with vitamin D, bisphosphonates, denosumab, lesofloxacin. So all these should be started with your calcium supplements. Next thing is, older people more than 60 years are susceptible to osteoporosis. Whereas the fact is, if you are above 40, you are susceptible for osteoporosis. See, osteoporosis is not about your age. It is basically determined by your BMI, that is body mass index. So BMI calculates your chances of osteoporosis. It has no direct correlation with your age of more than 60. Even if you are more than 40, you are susceptible for osteoporosis. Next thing is, men should not worry about osteoporosis. That's wrong. Whereas the fact is, see, osteoporosis generally occur in females, but female ratio male, it's 6:4. So even men can have osteoporosis. Now I'll be telling you few myths which are very common about your joint replacement surgeries. Young people should not get operated for joint replacements. Whereas the fact is, it's based on the classification of disability. It has no direct correlation with your age. So even young population can get joint replacement surgeries done. And the next thing is, joint replacement surgeries last for few years. That's a myth. Whereas the fact is, it basically depends on the individual to individual, plus it depends on the implant used. It has no relation as this will last for few years. It can last for 10 to 20 years as well. The next myth is, which is very common, is if you are seeing a spine specialist, you will get operated. Whereas the fact is, spine surgeries are basically based on your medical conditions. Last but not the least, it is said that both heat and ice should be used after injury. Whereas the fact is, ice should be used after the signs of inflammation and heat is used to relax the muscles. So you should not use both these things. So I hope in this video I have cleared so many doubts which you might be having over the years related to your orthopedics.